The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport and Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 and Hallmark trying to go pretty wide. No one's with him.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive it in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14. It's gonna be a photo finish to the line. Who's gonna get it? Walker Thomas.
Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the trial.
Photo finish.
2x2. The 65 gets the win. Hello and welcome, race fans, back to Primetime Racing TV here with the Cyber Racing Association. Here, their Super 7 here in the playoffs, the Super Speedway Series here on Monday nights. I'm Brandon Krutz. Joining me as always is Corey Silva. Corey Silva, doubling as our tech producer every night. Corey, how you doing tonight?
I'm great, Brandon. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, and well, we're ready to go Super Speedway racing here once again. The Super 7. Here in the playoffs.
Yeah, we are in, obviously, as Brandon said, the playoffs, working our way down to eventually where we get to the Championship 3 in a couple weeks' time. But we have 2 races left to eliminate 4 more drivers as we are at Talladega, and qualifying just now wrapping up.
Really quickly, I would like to run down who is in the Super 7. So starting from last in points in the Super 7 so far, it is going to be Chris Brown. In 6, it's Bobby Tinch. And tied for the 4th position, it is Rick Sabrans and Michael Coe. Those 2 are tied for position number 4 in points right now. In the 3rd position in points is Justin Levine. 2nd in points is going to be Tom LaBar, and so far, leading points in Super 7 is Paul Servant.
Servant as 4th right now on the grid, but the fastest guy usually in all these races, or the qualifying rather, has just crossed the stripe, and what do you know, David Anderson on the pole. I didn't think I'd ever see that happen. A little bit of sarcasm behind that, probably the almost a guaranteed pole winner, it seems like, in these races, but the 44 does pull it out for the pole position, as that is the conclusion of qualifying. So we will get you the PTR TV starting lineup here at Talladega Superspeedway for the Cyber Racing Association. on tonight's pole with his lap time of 52.179 is David Anderson, so we offer him our congratulations on that lap. Matt Quick to the outside pole. In position number 3, Pondo Co. Dwayne Cooper in 4th. And then we have Paul Servant in 5th, Marty Ray in 6th, Gary Champion 7th, Justin Levine in 8th. Then rounding out the top 10 is Mark Johnson and Chris Brown.
Starting in the 11th position is going to be PJ O'Leary, Daniel Hathaway right beside him, and back there in 13th is going to be Roger Buff, and then it's Bobby Tinch, Rick Sabrans, Tom LaBar, Artie Peterson Jr., Andy Veltman, Jimmy Coleman, Dana Osborne, Jason Raudebush, and rounding out the field is going to be Alexander Russell, but Alexander not making a start here tonight.
All right, so that'll be 21 drivers on the grid here at Talladega Superspeedway. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to tonight's coverage of the race, the Cyber Racing Association, as we are ready for 60 laps around the Talladega Superspeedway, the format that we will be racing under. If in case you don't follow us here on Mondays, 45% fuel in these machines, 1 backup car is available, open setups, everyone has their own custom tuned chassis underneath their machines. We will have a stage break on lap number 25, and we have the opportunity for green-white checkers.
So that is your race information here tonight. We're at the Talladega Superspeedway, the biggest track, the biggest oval track here within the sanctions of NASCAR series here tonight with the Cyber Racing Association, their Monday Super Speedway series. And they're in the Super 7. Pace car rolls off. These guys gonna get stacked up, double up, ready to go. Green flag racing here tonight. And boy, Corey, it should be a really good show as always.
Yeah, especially now that we have left the slightly narrower confines of Daytona. Usually when we come to Talladega, the racing does even get a little bit more wild as there's more space, more opportunity to fan out in the turns and on the straightaways.
Absolutely so. These guys rolling off grid now, and the Talladega, you know, of all the super speedways that we go to, Corey, we go to Talladega, Daytona, we go to even the old version of Daytona, but Talladega is the widest of the super speedways, and you know, probably one of the easier ones to draft with, and you got more room to play with here. A little bit more room for error, obviously. Super speedway racing, restrictor plate racing, there's very little room for error, if any, but here more so than others, you got a little bit more room to play with.
A little bit more room, which could obviously, it can go on both ends of the spectrum. It can give it a little bit of a cleaner race because, well, there's more room to play with, but it could also cause more havoc because people get a little too comfortable with that extra space. You may see someone pull a 4 wide when we're already 3 wide. I mean, obviously you still have to use your brain. You can't just take that extra space for granted, but usually these cyber guys are pretty good at knowing what they can do and putting on a good race, so we'll expect nothing else but that tonight as we are in 3 and 4, and green flag will be flying in just a couple moments.
Would like to point out next week these guys are at Daytona. That is the last race of the Super 7. This is the first race, Super 7 here tonight. Next week is the last, and then the following week will be the Championship 3. So these guys rolling down off of turn number 4 now. Pace car going to get ready to pull into pit lane this time by. These guys will have a little bit of a wait before they see the green flag start-finish line. Not where it is at Daytona, folks. It is down after the tri-oval, down past the exit of pit lane. So these guys going past where it would be at Daytona now, but getting ready to go green flag, racing the 44, David Anderson on pole, Mackwick on the 89 beside him. These guys are on the throttle, green flag in the air.
I'll tell you, there was a little bit of a gap there in the bottom groove. Paul Servant in the 3 was very far off the back bumper of the 20 Pondo Co. Just now getting a run, but Anderson will clear both lanes and have complete access to the lead right now.
Heading down now, down through turns number 1 and 2, the 44. Anderson has the lead. Mackwick trying to lead that outside line. They're going to be 2 by 2 guys fighting 2-3 wide to gain position.
Yeah, back in the pack, they are fanning out, but up front, here comes the outside. Takes a little bit for it to get wound up, but it is exactly doing that right now. Here comes the outside, Matt Quick with Dwayne Cooper. You know he likes to run the outside groove, does Cooper. Also has Marty Ray push him. Justin Levine rocking the top groove right now. On turn number 4, here we come into the tri-oval. Who will get the first lap of tonight's race? Looks like the outside groove is going to prevail. Matt Quick has the lead and is clear for the moment. Will he drop to the bottom and will he stay up top? He will stay up top. Here comes Cooper. A little bit of a look to the third groove. We know he likes to do that.
Wiggle.
But they stay in line now. You got to watch out for the wiggle. Got to watch out for the bumper hook.
Heading down off of turn number 2 now, heading 2 by 2 by 2 down the back straightaway. Matt Quick trying to get something done up on the high side down. We know the high side can work. We know with enough cars, the high side is actually better than the low groove. Dwayne Cooper right down to the back bumper. Matt Quick trying to make that top side work down low as David Anderson, the 20, right behind him.
Yeah, Cooper was absolutely not leaving any space whatsoever, drafting the best he can with Matt Quick up there, but the momentum is just not there at the moment. The top 2 have cleared, but here they come with the surge at the exit of the tri-oval. Quick trying to get another run.
Heading down into turn number 1 now. Now Matt Quick still up on the high side. Now down low is still David Anderson being pushed by the 20 machine. That's Pondo Co right behind him. Playoff drivers all up in front of this thing right at the moment. David Anderson, may I point out, not a playoff driver. Matt Quick, not a playoff driver. The next playoff driver is Pondo Co in the 20. He's trying to get a win here tonight.
And we see the first 3 wide of the night. Justin Levine took a look to the outside of Marty Ray, 3 wide. The momentum was not there. Tried to use Roger Buff in the 71 as a drafting partner, but that did not work. And also, while we're pointing out playoff drivers, you will notice in your ticker, everyone with an asterisk after their name is in the Super 7.
Heading down through the tri-oval now still 2 by 2. Gonna be 3 wide behind these guys. 65, Marty Ray trying to get something done up on the outside.
And the 65 Ray, he has 2 drivers working with him. He has Levine and Buff in the 71 up top, 3 drivers working the third lane. They now are to the side of Dwayne Cooper. Let's see if they can get side by side for the lead.
3 cars making it 3 wide on the high side. They're going to be 3 by 3 heading down the back straightaway. There is enough room, plenty of room here at Talladega to go 3, even 4 wide. These guys trying to make the high groove work. Around goes the 71 machine.
They're going around.
Big wreck.
That was a... I don't see what caused that. We saw the 71 break sideways. 71 just broke sideways, completely...
I've never seen anything like that in iRacing.
Yeah, well, we're on the blimp cam here on replay, and
do you think it's possible that maybe he bottomed out going into the corner door?
We're on the newer scan of Talladega. I don't have an explanation for that. If that was internet, I mean, obviously on the iRacing service, any kind of internet related
that
simulation.
Didn't even look like it.
That's the only explanation I could have, was an extreme case of, as we call it in the simulation, net code, where the prediction system behind how the system works with internet racing, it just because sometimes it has errors, sometimes quite erratic errors, and I mean, that's all I can come up with on that. That is just an internet oddity incident, we're going to call it that.
I mean, I'm looking at it, Corey. I don't even see how it was that. I mean, you know, obviously we've both seen plenty of cases of that. To me, it didn't really look like it, but man, oh man, just went around all on his own, or so it appeared. And
I mean, we could just...
There goes the back part of the hat.
We'll pull out the, let's just say he blew a left rear tire. I mean, what else could have...
That's honestly what it looked like, but... You know, it takes a lot to do that here on the service, but that's really what it looked like.
But regardless of the oddity and the mystery behind that, we do have pit stops. Remember, we have a stage at lap number 25, and the pit window in these machines with the fuel load usually about 21 laps at the maximum. So we're going to go with that. It should give them the ability to make it to that stage break, and let's see who gets the battle off pit road. Like, I believe that was Quick was the first one. Someone knocked down the cone into the middle of the racetrack there, but do have one driver staying on the racetrack. That is Andy Veltman in the 07. Started 18th, is now in the lead, has been scored as the leader for one lap around Talladega. Now, Brandon, we have seen before.
Yes.
It's not always common, and it still is a stretch, but it is possible if you can manage to save enough.
And you know there's guys that are going to try it, Corey.
Definitely
guys that will.
Most certainly. Where we have seen many a race here in Cyber end on fuel mileage. Obviously, we are not close to the end. We have just got this race underway, but fuel mileage is something to always take seriously. It can definitely come into play. We've seen races end on fuel mileage. We thought that we had the race won. We thought a driver had it done. We were calling him to the finish, ran out of fuel in the tri-oval.
Absolutely, and you know, that's the thing about these super speedway races, especially here in Cyber Racing Association, that these guys, they have to save fuel, but at the same time, they really have to race hard. They got to manage to hold their position, and they have to be aggressive to hold their position because they're racing against some of the best super speedway racers here on the service.
Yeah, Brandon, I've hopped in with him once, but I know you and Evan Black have obviously are alternating commentators here on PTR TV. You guys have spent some time in these races with the Cyber guys, and you know how competitive it is.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys know what they're doing when it comes to super speedway racing, and it's really close, aggressive racing, but you also cannot stress enough about fuel. That's, think back to last week, the race was won on a fuel game by just a couple of drivers, and, unbelievable how some of these guys have just nailed this.
Yeah, we see, obviously we're doing the same amount of laps every single week, so they can kind of figure out the strategies. They kind of know what lap they can push it till. They know what lap they can absolutely stretch to if needed. And we've seen people even try to expand on that a little bit, but the lights are out on the pace cars, so we will get green flag racing in about 3/4 of a lap.
Lights on top of the iRacing official pace car are out. These guys getting stacked up, doubled up, ready to go green flag racing once again. Matt Quick there up on the front of this thing, and right beside him is going to be looks like
Marty Ray, I believe.
Yeah,
yep.
Marty Ray. I couldn't tell from my angle. Apologize, but Marty Ray up there in the 65 machine. David Anderson and Dwayne Cooper back there in the second row.
Yeah,
so those four drivers going to have to work together, Corey, in this restart. It's going to be very important.
Yeah, we know Marty Ray is indeed a quick driver. He was a race winner this year. He made it into the, I believe it was the second round. He made it all the way to the Elite 11, did not transfer into the Super 7, but don't count him out of these races, of course, as well as the other drivers up there. But we know how important the second row is on restarts. We have Cooper, we have Anderson, two of the best pushers in this league, so that front row better be ready.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very important that all these guys work together on these restarts. And, all it takes is one person mess up, the field stacks up. We've seen it many times before. Yeah,
most certainly they don't want to use that backup car unless they most certainly absolutely need it, but pace car has gone into pit lane, so we will await the navigation through the tri-oval. Quick is your control car. He has Marty Ray to the outside as we head through the tri-oval here at Talladega Super Speedway, taking lap number 8 in tonight's Super 7 race. Green flag back in the air.
Big push to the back bumper of the 65 machine from the 00. Great restart from the outside line that time. Matt Quick has got some work to do on the bottom of the racetrack, not getting the push he needs from Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson a little slow on that start, but he got a push from Justin Levine that got him back up to speed. Now that inside lane using that push from David Anderson, and they will clear.
Heading down the back straightaway now the outside, trying to play catch up. Marty Ray on the outside, being pushed heavily down the back straightaway by Dwayne Cooper. Dwayne Cooper pushing him down at turn number 3 this time by trying to get the run on the outside.
Yeah, not enough help out there. He needs Rick Sabrans in the 2 to be a little bit closer to the back bumper, give them a little bit better run. Looks like there's another driver up there behind them. Can't quite tell who that is. I want to say it's a 16 behind Sabrans up there, rather than 96 of Jason Roudebush. 4 to the top, 5 to the bottom, advantage to the inside lane.
Heading down across the stripe now Matt Quick leads another lap that time by the bottom line, seems to have the advantage. More cars down there. These guys kind of split into 2 packs now, and we've seen this many times before, that the second pack, if they want to stay with these guys, they have to get organized. But heading down the back straightaway, Dwayne Cooper looking to make it 3 wide.
He's looking to go 3 wide, but there is nothing behind him, so that move is going to stall out. But as you mentioned, with the second pack, Brandon, we have Pondo Co in the 20. He is kind of the bridge car, if you will, in between both packs that will allow Jimmy Coleman and company to get back to the front pack, and we should be one happy family again.
Justin Levine in the 4 machine, big push, the back bumper, Matt Quick, he kind of got sandwiched between Quick and Servant there. Servant in the 3 machine trying to get something done here with helping out this bottom line here. Now only 2 cars up on the high side. It's the 44 to 65.
Here they go to the
Levine
top.
Jumps to the top.
Levine taking the run off of David Anderson in the 44, trying to get to the outside of Quick. He does so successfully. He has the help. 3 drivers working the top lane. Looks like Levine will clear. Will he stay at the top, or will he drop to the bottom?
Levine jumping to the low side. He's going to try to lead some laps. That leaves 2 cars back up on the high side once again. These guys fighting for positions early, Corey.
Yeah, everyone wanted to get these laps led. Everyone trying to stay up front as much as they can. The 44 Anderson has pulled out a line. He has the push from Marty Ray, but Cooper and Co. quite a ways back there on the top groove, so they're going to have to fend for themselves.
So now heading down into turn number 1 this time by the 44 Anderson out front leading that top line. These guys going to have some more company coming soon. Dwayne Cooper, Pondo Co. trying to catch these guys up on the high side. That's going to help them out tremendously, and even more cars coming up behind the top line now.
We know once that top lane is formed and these drivers are tightly packed together, giving them best draft, the outside lane usually can hold a little bit more momentum, but we just have not seen them able to get formed up the way they need to.
Now Matt Quick gonna try to jump up. He gets turned the outside wall. Big wreck down the front straightaway. Oh no.
Pondo Co, Jimmy Coleman, Matt Quick who's up front for the majority of this race thus far. We will go back on BTR TV replay and try to figure out what happened here.
Matt Quick, he was on the bottom.
89 with the push from the 3. David Anderson to the top. That was a very close call. He just wasn't clear.
Not quite clear. He hesitated on the move, Corey, and you cannot do that. Once you're clear and you want to make a move, you got to do it. Because we saw how quickly that gap closed, and just the bumper hook across the 44's nose.
Yeah, it's almost as if he was maybe hoping that the 44 was going to cut him a little bit of a break, and you can see here he chose not to do that, and he has no reason to do so. If you're going to cut in front of my nose, you better be clear, and obviously he wasn't, so that will be the second caution of the race. We will assumingly see a lot of these drivers pull up the backup cars after that one.
So we'll see how many guys come down into pit lane this time by. I expect these guys just to come in and maybe top off.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to take tires at this point in the race, so we will, I'm sure, confirm splash and goes for the majority of these drivers. Actually, a couple choosing to stay out. As we see the drivers in the pits right now on the racetrack remain Bobby Tinch, Dwayne Cooper, Rick Sabrans, PJ O'Leary, Tom Labar all staying on the racetrack right now. So As we await these pace laps to carry on here at Talladega, we're going to step away for the first side-by-side break of the race, so stay with us. We'll be back with you for the restart.
I grew up in Northern California, and my parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinsler. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from 9th leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun, where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there, where sprint cars you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, as a rookie on there, in the legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and all the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to like K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time, I would race iRacing all the time to learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now. So I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time because I don't win a lot. So it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that and get beat by Logan Seavey every time I run a sprint car. So the level of competition on iRacing is better than real life. You've got thousands of drivers on there that, a lot of them are probably better than the people you see on TV. They just haven't had the opportunities to make it, but can kick butt on there, and you can spend all day long running thousands of laps a day, so you can get yourself, really good at it. So competition level is just unbelievable, really, on there. Everybody's been asking for dirt on there for forever. So when they announced it, I got really, really excited. And honestly, it's blown my expectations away. The cars, to me, drive really good when the track's hooked up. The visual part of the racetrack changing is amazing. How you can run some laps and see it start to get shiny, and then you feel it getting slick. Areas of the racetrack getting dirty, and then you get some cars run through there and it cleans off and gets grip back. It's nuts. The tear-off feature is really cool. Watching the wing move backwards and forwards. I run with the virtual reality headset too, so being able to like look down and see everything, it looks extremely realistic. So yeah, it blew my expectations away. And it's only going to get better, really.
And welcome back to PTR TV, coverage of the Cyber Racing Association Round 1 of the Super 7 in their playoffs. We have just about to wrap up our second caution of the race, and Bobby Tinch and Dwayne Cooper running 1 and 2.
Yeah, these guys stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back to green flag racing behind the iRacing official pace car. Now going to be slowly rolling into turn number 3.
Yeah, we've seen about 4 to 5 drivers undergo damage tonight. We saw on that last caution, top 5 drivers stayed out. Remember, we have a stage break on lap number 25. We'll have another caution and more pit stops, so I'm sure those top drivers, assuming that they should be able to make the race. Still 20 drivers in the race, all 20 of which on the lead lap.
So these guys going to be rolling down through turns 3 and 4 this time by now. Now to turn number 4. Pace car going to be making its way into pit lane this time by. On the front row is going to be the 66 machine. Bobby Tinch going to be leading the field back in green. Dwayne Cooper right beside him. Pace car makes its way down into pit lane. A little bit of a wait until the drop of the green flag now. But the 66 needs to have a good push from the 2 to 00. Needs to have a good push from the 80. Getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. They're on the throttle. We're green flag once again.
Very even start from the top and the bottom lines. Cooper still is door to door with Tinch, but I'll tell you, the outside lane behind him is a pretty good ways back, and they're going to have a little bit of a run when they get to him.
Heading down through turn number 1, down the bottom line, seem to have gotten organized a little bit quicker. Dwayne Cooper out leading the second groove now. Now they leave Dwayne Cooper in the dust. Oh, around on the back straightaway, the 8 car, big hit. Big hit.
Dana Osborne and about 4 drivers behind him, all sideways here. So we will go back on PTR TV replay yet again and try to figure out what happened.
The 26, Daniel Holloway, the one that hit him. Big impact to the outside wall, and Holloway nowhere to go. Huge hit, Artie Peterson Jr., and looks like someone else down there involved trying to avoid the wreck.
Yeah, looks like the 07 to Andy Veltman. We'll try to see what happened to him, but the wreck did look like the 8 kind of washed up the speedway just a little bit on the back straightaway and into the path of that other vehicle that caused him to go around. And you can see here, Peterson and Veltman both kind of merged together as they tried to get as low as they could to avoid the wreck. They wrecked themselves in avoidance of the main wreck, irony enough. So unfortunately, we will follow behind the pace car for the 3rd time tonight. Bobby Tinch being scored as the leader. Shouldn't have any pit stops besides for damage, as obviously we didn't quite get up to speed that time, so
these guys haven't been able to get much green flag racing in.
One of those nights thus far, but still plenty of time to get some solid 2-3 wide cyber racing action in. But we will pass pit lane and see if there are any takers. Does not look to be any, as kind of expected.
So, these guys back behind the iRacing official pace car. I would like to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, starting out with Movement Fabrications. They're the ventilation service to trust. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics. Be sure to check them out on social media as well. And also iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Big shout out to that, Jason Allison over there for all of our overlays. And also, big shout out to TrackCams for Gourmet, trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams. Also, big shout out to our Patreon, patreon.com/PTRTV. Get rewards depending on how much you donate. So, be sure to become a patron on there. We appreciate all the support. And also, especially iRacing, for everything that they do over there with the service and everything. So, you know, all of our partners here, they make the broadcast, folks. So be sure to go support them, find them on social media, you know, visit their website, just anything you can do to help them out and check them out.
Yeah, most certainly is appreciated. And going back to the Patreon, there may or may not be a giveaway in the works that I know Brandon has no idea what I'm talking about because I'm kind of
this is new to me. I'm interested.
Yeah, we are working on our line of PTR gear, PTR TV t-shirts, which kind of was something that only became a thing because people asked for it. So if you ask, we will we work on it. We have our base out there that is still in design. Well, it's pretty much done, but little tweaks to be made to it. But once it's done, it'll be on the store on our new website. And I'm thinking about giving one out to a Patreon member, Patreon subscriber. So
a patron.
Yes, that too. Seeing as I just came up with it right now, details to follow, but that is something that is in the works. So anybody who does support us on there, chance for a free t-shirt.
So you literally just came up with that off the top of your head now?
You see, I spend money on yellow flag banter, evidently, so. So we can't have more yellows because I'm just going to keep giving away money. But that is one to go. Thank God for that. And Bobby Tinch is still the leader, obviously, and Rick Sabrans to the outside. And remember, we will have 5 laps of racing before the stage break.
So these guys stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back green flag racing once again. Dwayne Cooper not up there in the front row anymore. Bobby Tinch holds his position, but now it's going to be the 2 machine up on the outside. That's Rick Sabrans. Top 5 as follows is Bobby Tinch, Rick Sabrans, Tom LaBar, Paul Servants, and PJ O'Leary rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, so half a lap to go till the green flag, 5 laps to go for the stage and these pivotal stage points. Something we didn't even talk about, Brad. Remember how important these stage points can be for these Super 7 drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. Stage points. Especially if you don't have that win, Corey. Give me a quick refresher on who got the win last week. I believe it was Matt Quick.
Yeah,
and Matt Quick is not in the playoffs, so...
Yeah, Quick kind of snuck one out there at the very end. David Anderson was in second, who needed that pivotal win. Unfortunately, was not able to get it, which is why Anderson isn't in the Super 7, but that is how racing works out. So we'll see if a non-playoff driver can sneak out a victory tonight. Still 35 laps to sort that.
The top 5 is all playoff drivers. Well, top 4 is all playoff drivers, Corey. So see who can get it done. Take it away from the restart.
Most certainly, pace car is in. Tinch and Sabrans will take him down for this restart here, approaching lap number 20. As we navigate through the Talladega Tri-Oval yet again, everyone is stacked up, ready to go racing here. Green flag back in the air. Here we go.
Wow, big stack up there. Dwayne Cooper got checked up behind the 3 of Servant. That shoved Holloway out of line there. Big stack up there, but everyone tries to settle it out, heading down into turn number 1. The bottom line trying to get organized now. Paul Servant pushing the 2 of Cibrans down through the corner, down onto the back straightaway.
I saw a lot of drivers on the inside lane kind of fiddling with the yellow line there. That will kind of get you a little bit squirrely, move you up and down the track, so you really have to be mindful to stay off that yellow line. But here we come, everyone now just getting up to full speed here. Cibrans, he leaves Servant out to dry by himself up top.
Those 2 using the tandem draft down the back straightaway. Got the 2 machine out front. Now Bobby Tinch gonna be back behind him pushing. Dwayne Cooper pushing the 3 machine down the front straightaway, down through the triangle, 2 by 2 by 2.
As we tick off another lap, looks like it will be Servant in the 3 getting it that time by. It looks like he may be cleared just by a whisker over Cibrans on the inside group, but he will stay with Cooper, who is helping him. Look at that push by Cooper in the middle of the turn.
Dwayne Cooper trying to get Servant out ahead, trying to help himself here, trying to get himself out front of this thing once again. Looks like he's going to shove Servant down, and Servant not quite clear that time by Cibrans, holding that bottom line now, still going to hold 2 by 2. Cibrans trying to maintain that bottom line.
I think he was clear. Brandon was Servant up top, but it's just he is being a loyal teammate, being a loyal partner to Cooper up top right now. David Anderson and Levine behind them, all fast drivers. Here comes Servant again, clear by a long shot, but we'll see what he does.
44 kind of got a little bit squirrely there down through the triangle, holds it together now. Now Dwayne Cooper maybe looking to go 3 wide, nobody gonna go with him that time by. But we know Cooper always trying to make it 3 wide, trying to make things interesting, trying to get himself out front. He's in a good position if he can get someone to go with him.
For a moment there, look at the outside groove, had way more drivers using it than the inside, kind of has evened out now. Here comes Cooper, a little bit of a look to the outside, maybe just trying to get some air on the radiator. But as we go through 3 and 4, looks like Servant's in the position you want to be. He's getting the edge at the end of the straightaways.
Yeah, absolutely. Holding back, getting that big suck up, maybe trying to look for a way around. He looks high, nobody gonna go with him that time once again. Dwayne Cooper trying to find a way around.
And here comes Servant, dropping to the bottom. Now Cooper is going to use David Anderson as his push, and that may be the best thing he needed because we know how fast those 2 drivers usually are.
Absolutely, not too much longer till the stage end, Corey.
Yep, it should be 2 to go for that stage, for those 10 points and the extra playoff point that goes along with it. But we have a lot of racing. We know what can happen in 2 laps at Talladega.
Heading down out of turn number 4 this time by, it should be the white flag for the stage. Dwayne Cooper trying to inch out front.
Yeah, he is, but he lost a little bit of time there, did not get the run he needed. So Servant will have it. It looks like the 44 Anderson will split Cooper in the middle 3 wide and shove Cooper all the way to the back.
So this is the white flag for the stage. These guys trying to find Dwayne Cooper all the way to the back now. They're going to hold 2 by 2. They left him out to dry. It's going to be playoff drivers trying to fight down the back straightaway.
Cooper went from about 4th all the way to 11th there at that shakeup of the top groove, but here comes Anderson with the push from Levine. I don't know if they're going to have enough, but this should be the checkers for stage 1.
Heading down, this is the checkered flag for stage 1. Rick Cibrans running through the tri-oval, trying to hold off these other playoff drivers. David Anderson on the outside, drag race. Rick Cibrans gets the stage win.
So we will see what the final running order is for the stage, but the pivotal points go to Rick Cibrans, so that is obviously a good help for him. He was 4th, tied for 3rd rather, at this point in the Super 7 playoff structure, so this will definitely help his case out, as it does for a lot of the Super 7 drivers.
So Corey, your top 5 at the line, actually your top 6 were all playoff drivers. Well, that is minus David Anderson, but it was your top 5 here was Rick Cibrans, David Anderson, Paul Servant, Justin Levine, and Bobby Tinch. there for the stage.
Right now, the lowest running Super 7 driver is Pondo Ko. He is back in the 19th position at the moment. Also, the only other one out of the top 10 is Chris Brown, currently running in 11th.
So let's see what these guys do with regarding pit road. Expect everyone to pit this time, but to find out for sure, these guys trying to catch up to the pace car, which is heading down into turn number 3.
And remember, we will not be able to, and this is always one of the interesting dynamics in these races, if we do go green, which we've seen it many a time, we will not be able to make the end of the race on the fuel load. There will be a required stop about with 10 laps to go. So it'll be very interesting to see when that pit stop is made amongst these drivers.
So looking at our leader, Rick Sabrands, winning that stage. Everybody should be coming into pit lane this time by. Here comes the fields this time down into pit lane, led by Rick Sabrands and the 2 machine.
Yeah, Sabrands down pit lane, and we'll see if anybody decides to maybe take some tires for a change. Sometimes it is good to get a fresh pair at least once a race, something we haven't really seen, but something that is sometimes a benefit for you. Nobody's staying on the speedway. Actually, I'm going to take that back. Dwayne Cooper staying on the speedway.
So these guys exit pit lane, and looks like it's going to be Paul Servant, the first one out of pit lane. So that is the end of stage 1, ladies and gentlemen. Stick with us. We're going to go to a quick side-by-side commercial break. We'll be back with you for the restart. And welcome back, race fans, here to PTR TV. These guys right now stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go back green flag racing.
Yep, that is the conclusion of stage number 1. So stage number 2 now on the board as we are about to take lap number 30. Brandon Krutz and Corey Silva here in the booth giving you the action. Joe just behind the scenes helping out here to bring this broadcast to you live here on PTR TV. Paul Servant is your leader. Justin Levine on the outside. And then in row number 2 we have Rick Sabran's the stage winner and Matt Quick.
So, these guys are stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go back green flag racing. So, on the front row is Paul Servant and Justin Levine. Pace car ready to make that hard left turn down into pit lane this time, but off it goes. Little bit of a wait. Paul Servant ready to lead this field back to the green flag after that stage. Servant on the inside, Levine on the outside. Servant is the control car, ready to go. These guys, they're on the throttle once again. Green flag back in the air.
Again, another gap between first and second on the inside lane there. Sabran's about a car length back off the bumper of Servant. That will give the outside just a little bit of an edge here through the entry of turns number 1 and 2. Levine is staying door to door with the help from Matt Quick.
Heading down off of turn number 2 this time by Servant has the advantage, heading down the back straightaway. Levine getting a push now, heading down the back, right onto the back bumper is Matt Quick.
Here they go, everybody gridlocked here for the top 10, everybody gridlocked. And looks like the outside now starting to give way just a little bit. The 4 and the 89 do drop back. We have a little bit of a gap between packs, R.D. Peterson and company, about 4 or 5 car lengths off the lead draft.
Heading down through the trial hole now. A little bit squirrely from a couple of guys back there. Justin Levine trying to make something work up on the high side.
Yeah, the third lane not getting anywhere. The second lane is where it's at right now. Here comes Levine side by side, door to door with Servant, maybe getting the run just now finally. Quick and Marty Ray and company trying to give him a little bit of a push, but that car at the back of that pack is taking a look 3 wide.
Maybe trying to make it 3 wide up on the high side. Not going to work. Nobody going with him. Up there, up in the third groove. Still going to hold 2 by 2. Little separation of packs once again. Nothing major as of right now. But Paul Servant liking what he's seeing so far. The 2 car is right behind him, pushing him. Justin Levine and Matt Quick up on the high side. Levine gets a huge shove down. He might lead that lap. Not quite that time by.
Yeah, he now has the help. The outside groove has kind of evened out. Actually had a little bit more cars up there just for a little while. The 99 Tom LaBar gave it a shot, decides to go back to the bottom. It's 4 drivers working the top right now. Here comes another look by the 7, trying to go maybe 3 wide or just get some air up there. Oh, he's going 3 wide with Marty Ray.
Marty Ray gonna help him out. They're gonna be 3 by 3 heading down into turn number 3 now. The outside maybe doesn't have enough cars though. 2 cars may not just be enough.
Not at all. The third lane is very quick, but it needs extra help to get it going. 2 drivers is not going to be enough. They're going to drop to the end of this pack.
Heading down through the trial hole now. 65 and the 7 gonna drop back just a little bit. Now Paul Servant still leading this thing. Justin Levine is outside, very loose, heading down into turn number 1 there. Big push on the 89 machine. Quick now heading down into turn number 2, down the back straight away. It's gonna be Paul Servant still holding the edge.
And Breda, we really do need to talk about this separation in packs right now. At the end of this pack is Jason Rudebush in the 96, but we're going to drop back about 3/4 of a second to find Daniel Holloway, PJ O'Leary, and company. So I do not know if they're going to be able to get back there right at that cusp.
Yeah, absolutely, Corey. So now that front pack does have the advantage. The front pack has the advantage. The back pack needs to get single file if they're going to get anything done. But a lot of aggressive racing all around here.
And it looks like from what we can see, the 65 and the 7, they are both determined to make something happen in that third group, but they seem to be the only ones to do so. It's not going to work with just the two of them. They're going to need to try to tag team with other drivers up there.
Looks like they might have a third party coming in once again. 3 cars up on a high side could work. No, he's going to drop off. That's the 18 machine.
That 18 machine, I believe, yes it is, Gary Champion. Have not talked about him too much tonight. Usually he is up dicing with these drivers up front, maybe taking a little more methodical approach here relatively early in the race as we're only a little bit past halfway. Taking lap number 35 up front. Still Paul Servant with the surge to the inside. The Ford just cannot seem to get it at the stripe.
65 and a 7 jump to the outside once again. Going to be holding 3 wide down into turn number 1 this time by still, it looks like they're going to be falling off a little bit now. They don't have a gap to fall into, Corey. Somebody's got to go with them. The 18 champion jumps up there along with the 26 of Holloway. Can they get there on time?
I believe they can. It looks like here they come right now in entering turn number 3. Justin Levine all the way to the inside. Quick in the middle. Ray up top. Thought more drivers were going to work in the third group, but they're going to shuffle them out. Everyone's going to go 2 by 2 and send those 2 farther to the back.
Gary Champion didn't quite have the momentum to get to the back bumpers. The 2 of those guys trying to work the tandem draft up on a high side. Gary Champion, Daniel Holloway, and along with 1 other car up there up on a high side now. They're all trying to tag team work together.
Yeah, they are. There's 5 drivers down working the top groove right now. The third lane at Talladega, trying to get 3 by 3 throughout this entire lead pack. That goal still is a little ways off right now. That third lane, they have the cars. They just don't have the speed quite yet, but it may be coming.
Trying to get it wound up. Now, it does take quite a while to get those cars wound up on a high side, but you can tell they're really making some ground up there, Corey. They have the advantage car count-wise. Gary Champion, Daniel Holloway up there trying to help these guys out as well.
Yeah, right now, Brandon, it's 5 drivers up there, but I'll tell you, it just does not seem to be doing what it usually does. They're kind of stalled out at the door of David Anderson. Now it looks like they're going to lose a spot to even Rudebush. They're going to be honest, they may just be better off going back 2 by 2.
Does look like it is PJ O'Leary up there in the third group helping those guys out as well in the 80 machine. But yeah, the second pack starting to catch these guys once again, Corey. Most of the pack is kind of back there already, but looks like Marty Ray now falling off. These guys gonna end up going back 2 by 2.
Yeah, they are, and Quick had the run through the tri-oval. He still does have it with the push from David Anderson and Rudebush in the 96 at the stripe without question. It's going to go to the 96, but he will not be able to clear. I'm going to take my words and eat them. He drops to the bottom, 89 back to P1.
Heading down out of turn number 2, heading down the back straightaway. Justin Levine kind of forces guys up at the high side to check up. Oh, they're wrecking! Big wreck! The entire front pack involved! This is the Talladega big one!
That literally is just about everybody here on the back straightaway at Talladega.
No.
Not what we want to see, so let's go back and try to figure out the source of that incident here on replay.
Couple of those guys, just innocent bystander. The bumper hook to the 89 from Paul Servant and the 3 down the back straightaway. That then turned to the 4 of Levine, and around went the field and everybody. I think just about everybody. I see 1 car that made it through that in the front pack, Corey.
Yeah, as you said, a little bit of a attempted bump draft gone wrong, and see almost everybody had some residual impact. Maybe the guys in the second pack, their loss of the draft maybe worked to their benefit there, but up front is going to be scored as Mark Johnson right now.
Yeah, so Mark Johnson up there in the lead.
Pole sitter David Anderson in second right now as we are still awaiting to catch the pace car. You can see the damage to Anderson and Champion here, hoping they have the backup cars and can able to get back into this race with a new kind of a second chance.
Our leader's even got some damage, Corey, and he's having a hard time steering that race car, I think.
He's falling back. I think he actually may have blown an engine.
Our leader right now is David Anderson as we come off of turn 4 onto the tri-oval, and we should see a mass amount of vehicles on pit road now, especially after that last incident. And this should get them to the stage, well, rather the checkered flag. Remember, the race ending on lap 60. If we don't have a green-white checker, this should get everybody to the end of the race on fuel. That takes out that dynamic. And you can see here the backup car pulled up for the 44, and expect that to be a common theme.
Yeah, absolutely. So these guys, looks like David Anderson going to be the first one out of pit lane.
Once everybody does get through the pits, we will try to give you a little bit of a field rundown there so you can see maybe where the driver that you are most after is following. And looks like we have a ton of...
How'd that go, Corey?
I don't know.
The driver that you were most wanted is following?
I don't think I said it in that poor of grammar, but the driver that you most pull for, where are they running? I haven't had my second coffee tonight, so forgive me, but 20 laps to go. Right now I see 15 drivers have pulled out of pit lane. Right now, 16 rather. Still 4 drivers in pit lane getting some significant repairs done. Matt Quick, Paul Servant, Mark Johnson, and Daniel Holloway all undergoing extended pit stops right now.
You remember, some of these guys were already using their backup car. Their primary is already damaged, so...
Of those drivers, the only one that is still in the pits right now is Paul Servant, and I do believe by the camera here that he did use the backup car. I do believe he had to have the tow truck help him back to his pit stall there, which probably explained the delayed pit stop, but he does seem to be back up to full song and up to top form, so that 3 should be back in the race, but without the safety net of his backup car.
So field still rolling behind the iRacing official pace car. Looks like, I'm sure these guys have probably just got the 2 to green that time.
I think it is now safe to give you a little bit of a through the field right now. Your leader is David Anderson. He has led 4 laps. He started tonight's race from the pole. Has not been up front for too much, but is currently leading. Jason Rudebush in 2nd. Chris Brown in 3rd. Rick Sabrans running in 4th. Bobby Tench in 5th. Justin Levine in 6th. Artie Peterson Jr. in 7th. And then we have Pondo Co 8th. Andy Veltman in 9th. And Gary Champion rounding out the top 10. And then finishing out the field, Marty Ray in 11th, PJ O'Leary in 12th, Tom Barr in 13th, Jimmy Coleman in 14th, Dwayne Cooper in 15th, Daniel Holloway 16th, and then rounding out the field is Dana Osborne, Paul Servant, Matt Quick, and Mark Johnson. Roger Buff wrecked out very early in the race, 34 laps down to 21st, and then the only other entry, Alexander Russell, did not take to the grid.
Mark Johnson taking his car behind the wall. He will be done for the night.
So that is 18 drivers on the lead lap. Matt Quick being the only one off the lead lap at the moment. We should get one to go this time by.
You know, I'm almost positive the viewers can't hear it, but Corey keeps yawning here off microphone, and it keeps making me yawn.
Yeah, nothing to do with the racing. I live a very early waking lifestyle. Some days I could stay up late, some days the struggle is real, so I do apologize for that. I am making sure it doesn't go through on the mic with my magical technical abilities, but...
Magical technical abilities.
Yeah, put it on a t-shirt. But here we go. 1 to go as the lights are out on the pace car. Should be 18 laps to go when we hit the stripe. David Anderson back to the front of the pack where he has not been too much today, but let's see what he can do now. Rudebush on the outside of the front row. This is the first time he's been in that kind of position. Then we have Chris Brown and Rick Sabrans.
These guys stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back. Green flag racing here, pacing behind the iRacing official pace car. Again, only 18 drivers left on the lead lap. Matt Quake being the only one that's not on the lead lap right now.
And remember, we should be good on fuel. Remember, the fuel load in these machines typically about 19 to 21 laps. And with these cautions and the most recent pit stops, fuel mileage should not be a concern, potentially if we do go into green-white checkers, but I even think we may be good on the buffer for that. See, a lot of these drivers at the back of the pack have topped off, which is why they're single file at the tail end of the field. But here we come through turns 3 and 4, and we are about to get back racing.
Yeah, field rolling down at pace speed, about 65 miles an hour behind the iRacing pace car. Lights are out. These guys will be getting back underway this time by 44. David Anderson up here on the pole position. Outside pole is going to be the 96 machine of Jason Rudebush, and so should be an interesting restart here.
Most certainly. We'll see what Rudebush can do. He hasn't been on the front row tonight in any kind of situation. This will be the first time. We'll see what he can do. He'll have a good pusher in the form of Rick Sabrans. Artie Peterson, probably the highest we've seen him tonight, also leading that pack as we are shaken up after that last wreck. We'll see what these drivers that are up front can do now. Green flag back in the air. We're back racing at Talladega.
Good start from the top line, a little bit more organized. It's a little bit, but they got a damaged race car. That's not going to help them out at all. The bottom line going to have the advantage here. The 96, Rudebush trying to get something done. Sabrans right up behind him. They're going to have some more help up there.
Yeah, but there is absolutely no help up top right now. Chris Brown is a ways back there. He looks like he has some damage to that machine.
Rudebush gets left out in the dust.
It has everybody leaving him to the dust. He's going to have to wait for that outside to get to him, but when they do, they're going to have a head of steam. Looks like we have Dwayne Cooper trying to rock the third lane. No help up there, but they are 3 wide at the tail end of this front pack.
Gary Champion has some front end damage, Corey. That could not be helping those guys out at all.
He will be okay if he's behind someone, but he cannot be the leader in the pack. He will cost them significant time. Cooper, aggressive move to the third lane.
Levine gets left out. Cooper, an aggressive move. Levine went to follow, and Cooper just left him out in the dust.
I think if Cooper can get clear, he'll go up there with him. We know how he likes to do it. Here we go. We're wrecking.
Around, up and over goes Dwayne Cooper. Barrel rolling down through turn 3. Or turn 2, rather.
Yeah, that was another wreck here. We'll see on PTR replay exactly what happened. Looks like a little bit of a hook there as someone tried changing lanes. Let's see what happened. See, Levine in the 4 was still up top, and looks like Cooper went to the top, and then Champion maybe just did not know he was there, or Cooper was a little too subtle in his move and wasn't clear enough when he made it. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, but regardless of it, it was a right rear hook there, and that will put us under yet another caution in tonight's race here at Talladega. This is the 6th caution for 13 and counting laps, so we will assemble behind the iRacing.com pace car one more time. We will see if Cooper and Champion are able to return to the race if they had their backup cars. I don't know if they...
I don't believe they did. Well, I don't believe at least Champion did. These guys catching the pace car. Pit road should be open this time by...
it does not look like they had them, because otherwise they would already have been able to pull it out instantly. So there will be some significant damage repaired to both of those vehicles, trying to keep them in the best finishing position they can be. But we will see if there is any pit stops. Don't really see a reason to, unless there was damage, but we you never know. People may want to top off in case of a green-white checker.
Looks like your leader is going to stay out. That is David Anderson. So, as the field catches the pace car, we're going to step away for a brief moment. We'll be back with you for the restart. Stay with us.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to, sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinzer. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from 9th leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track, just because it's for fun. Where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there. Where sprint cars, you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, as a rookie on there, in the Legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and all the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to like K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time, I would race iRacing all the time to learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now. So I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time because I don't win a lot. So it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that and get beat by Logan Seavey every time I run a sprint car. So the level of competition on iRacing is better than real life. You've got thousands of drivers on there that, a lot of them are probably better than the people you see on TV. They just haven't had the opportunities to make it, but can kick butt on there and you can spend all day long running thousands of laps a day, so you can get yourself, really good at it. So competition level is just unbelievable, really, on there. Everybody's been asking for dirt on there for forever. So when they announced it, I got really, really excited. And honestly, it's blown my expectations away. The cars, to me, drive really good when the track's hooked up. The visual part of the racetrack changing is amazing. How you can run some laps and see it start to get shiny, and then you feel it getting slick. Areas of the racetrack getting dirty, and then you get some cars run through there and it cleans off and gets grip back. It's nuts. The tear-off feature is really cool. Watching the wing move backwards and forwards. I run with the virtual reality headset too, so being able to like look down and see everything, it looks extremely realistic. So yeah, it blew my expectations away. And it's only gonna get better, really.
When I was 16 years old, I was working in a Goodyear tire store, and my boss actually built an old dirt car, street stock Monte Carlo. Went with him one night, fell in love with it. It was a hell of a race, hell of a party, and a big fight afterwards. I was like, this is it for me. It wasn't long after that, I was driving an old 78 Camaro out of the weeds at that guy's farm. We pulled that thing out and made a race car out of it, and away we went. You know, I think a driver has more to do with the equation going back and racing dirt, whether it's a modified, a late model. You can do more with the race car. You know, the harder you drive it, a lot of times, the better it goes. You can crawl up on that wheel and feel like you made the difference at the end of the night. Asphalt car, you can't overdrive them. Well, that was the first thing that I had to learn right off the bat is, oh my gosh, I've got to discipline myself, not overdrive this thing, and that's how you get the most out of it. Truth be told, communicating the right information to your crew and your crew chief so they can do their job and make their appropriate adjustments for you to go faster and do your job is probably 90% of the game in our world. I've always loved late models. You know, my dream was to be a late model driver driving.
Welcome back to Talladega Super Speedway. It is the playoffs. It is the Super 7 here tonight on PTR TV. We are back with you for another restart here tonight. We have David Anderson, your pole sitter, leading the race. We have Chris Brown second, Bobby Tinch third, Jason Rudebush in fourth, and Rick Sabrans in fifth. Remember, this is the Super 7. All those drivers denoted in the ticker with the asterisk. You can see how they are doing tonight versus everybody else.
So, David Anderson up here on the front row to his outside. It is, it's going to be the 16 of
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown, yep. Chris Brown up on there on the outside. Bobby Tinch right behind Anderson, and Rudebush right behind Brown. So those guys are going to be key for this restart here. Every one of those drivers has to get a good restart for this to work out. Pace car going to make its way down into pit lane this time by these guys stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go back. Green flag, racing pace car makes its way into the safety of the Talladega pit lane. David Anderson ready to get back. Green flag racing along with the rest of the field. Anderson going to be leading these guys back. Ready to hit the loud pedal. Green flag is back in the air. We're underway once again.
Does look like the 44 of Anderson may have got a little bit better of a jump there, obviously as the leader there, but outside was not too much of a slouch, but I don't think the help was there. Brown didn't have the help, and you can see here, just him and Rudebush is not going to be any match for the bottom.
Heading down out of turn number 2, this time by not a 16 of Brown, trying to be pushed by the 96 of Rudebush. Around on the back straightaway. Makeeng down the back straightaway.
All the way to the inside. I don't think that's going to throw out a yellow, but we'll see if we can check it out on a replay very quickly here. They were far enough to the inside where it will not cue an automatic caution, but it looks like here at the back of the pack, it was the 07 maybe coming down a little bit on Marty Ray, taking out Daniel Holloway, but we continue green flag racing.
Yeah, I'm surprised league officials didn't call a caution on that. Normally it's about 3 cars or more calling the yellow, but we do stay green flag racing. Rudebush all over the back bumper of the 16 machine of Brown. This pack obviously split into 2 now from that wreck.
Yeah, we have 6 drivers. We have Anderson, Tinch, Sabrans, Brown.
Jumping to the outside.
We have 6 drivers up front, and we have about 6 drivers out back in the second pack. That is about a second off of these drivers, so they may be able to get to them if they go single file, but they are racing back there themselves.
Heading down 66, Tinch trying to make that outside work. Anderson on the inside of the 44. We hit 10 laps to go, this time by.
Anderson.
Actually, last time by, I apologize.
Yep, Anderson is clear of both lanes at the moment. He will obviously hold right to that yellow line until he absolutely has to move, but no reason to block now. Sabrans giving him a pretty good push, but Sabrans going to take that hard right turn. He's going to go to the outside with the push from Tinch, take a stab at the lead.
Bobby Tinch left the gap there, and now Sabrans is going to take advantage of it. The 2 machine trying to fight for the win.
But Tinch is the only one up there right now. Brown is not able to hang close enough to the back bumper. Looks like he'll actually drop to the bottom. Will he? No, he will stay up top, but he's not providing much assistance to them.
No, 2 cars down. It's really 4 cars, 2 on the inside, 2 on the outside, that are really able to push hard here so far. So these 2 lines are even, but that outside needs a little bit of extra help.
Yeah, it needs the help, but there's just not enough drivers. There's only 6 drivers in the pack until that second pack may or may not get to them in time. They have gotten single file. The second pack has, being led right now by Tom LeBar in the 99. They very well may be able to get to them. I think they're actually going to.
Yeah, maybe, just maybe.
But 6 drivers up front. They're all 3x3 at the moment. Rudebush kind of falling back a little bit on the inside lane there. But Anderson and Levine, 4, 4, and 4, all up front here on the inside lane. Let's see who gets it at the stripe. Looks like Anderson getting the consistent lap sled at the stripe right now.
Sabrans losing some momentum up on the high side now. Now the 65, Bobby Tinch.
Yeah, Bobby Tinch is pushing Rick Sabrans.
66, rather, sorry.
Bobby Tinch pushing Rick Sabrans up top, and I'll tell you, nothing's really going to happen drastically with this few drivers up top. But here comes Rudebush at the 96. 4 up top, 3 on the bottom, 4 up top, 2 on the bottom. But now Chris Brown's going to the bottom. Bobby Tinch takes it to the inside.
Now Bobby Tinch. That's going to leave Sabrans out to dry. Rudebush has to get up to his back bumper, has to try to push him as much as he can. Now Levine jumps to the outside.
With the push from Rick Sabrans in the 2, can Levine get around the 44 of Anderson? He's going to give it his best shot. Has a little bit of an edge on the outside groove, has the fender on him, getting the run through turns 1 and 2. Let's see what they can do down the back straightaway.
Heading down the back straightaway, 2x2. That second pack, single file, trying to catch them using the tandem draft back there. These guys could play a role at the end of this thing. 44, David Anderson, 66, Bobby Tinch there on the bottom, along with the 16 of Chris Brown. Up on the high side is the 4 of Justin Levine, the 2 of Rick Sabrans, and Jason Rudebush up there in the 96 at the tail end of that group. These guys, they're going to be taking 5 laps to go this next time across the line.
A little bit of squirrely action from Tinch there in the trial, but kind of going in left and right. Thought he may have had a little bumper, may have got loose, but he is doing just fine. You can see here Pondo Co and Dana Osborne in the 20 and the 8. They're about to join this action, making it an 8-car pack.
They could play a role in this depending on who goes where. Now only 2 cars. They're on the bottom of the racetrack. Chris Brown fell off those guys. Now it looks like a little bit of extra help. We're going to be aiming towards the bottom. That's Pondo Co. Looking on the bottom. They left Chris Brown in the dust.
Yeah, Brown's going to have to now fall behind Dana Osborne in the 7. Well, in the 7th position, rather. Move Brown back to 8th. That will help these drivers out with more runs, more speed, more draft to make each of these lanes work.
Anderson trying to hold on to that lead now. Now, these guys, they're not going to wait. They're going to look to take it 3 wide on the outside. Not enough cars to do it.
Move was a little primitive on Pondoco, nothing really going up top, no one really trying to go that aggressive yet, but there is 2 laps to go. We are side by side up front for the first 2 rows. This is getting towards the end of the race. This is getting to that time to be. Justin Levine, hard move to the inside.
Yep, coming to take 3 laps to go this time by. Looks like the 2 of Seabrand's gonna have the momentum up on the high side. Levine down on the low side now. Anderson trying to push him, trying to keep him out front.
Yeah, Levine in the 4, Seabrand's up top right now. 4 drivers up top, 4 drivers to the bottom. This is exactly as even as it could be, but the inside still seeming to prevail as we are approaching the end of this race. Here comes Seabrand to the outside with a push from Rudebush and Co. Co all the way to the top, but I don't know, is he going to have enough with 3 wide?
Doesn't look like he's going to have the momentum quite yet, but the 8 machine sticking with him up there on the high side. Now, it looks like they're going to have to drop down, not quite there yet. They're going to go back 2x2 racing. 4 cars up on the high side, 4 cars down on the low side. They're going to be coming back. 2 laps to go the next time across the line.
2 to go here at Talladega Super 7 Cyber Racing Association. Looks like that Levine kind of is in that sweet spot right now, using the inside lane, but we can't count anybody out. Here comes Rudebush, moved to the top 3 wide, but no help. That's going to put him choo-choo-choo to the back of the caboose.
Heading down out of turn number 2, Anderson trying to fight as hard as he can here. Levine still holding out front. Looks like Krutz Brown was looking to see if anyone would go 3 wide with him. Not going to work that time. By the 44, trying to hold that outside. The 4 car to the inside. They'll be coming around out of turn number 4.
If we can make it about 1,000 more feet, this race is guaranteed to finish under the green flag. Once we hit lap number 59, that's the white flag, and the race will only end with the checkers. We're going to come through the tri-oval for the penultimate time here. Anderson in the lead, but here comes Rick Seabrand's white flag in the air.
White flag is in the air. They're going to be 2x2. Seabrand's up on the outside. It looks like Anderson going to be still holding that inside there. So far, David Anderson led that last time by being pushed by the 4 Levine down the back straightaway.
For the final time down the Alabama Gang Super Stretch is Anderson and Seabrand. This is going to be the battle for the win here at Talladega. Anderson does have the position, but Seabrand's with the push from Pondoco. They're dropping back. I don't know if they're going to have it, but we'll see. They have one more opportunity.
One more opportunity this time by David Anderson. Looks like Levine gonna try to look for a way around Justin Levine, pushing Anderson down. They're gonna be 3 wide coming to the line. Not gonna work. David Anderson wins at Talladega Superspeedway. Big wreck behind him. Upside down is Pondoco.
Put on the blocks, he put on the moves he needed to make, but David Anderson pulling off the victory here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway Cyber Racing Association. We offer him our congratulations on his victory, and we will have the post-race show in a matter of moments, so stay with us.
Country like Daryl and Don do that drive for me. I mean, that was, truth be told, that was my dream, you know. I always wanted a semi. I always wanted a stacker trailer with 2 hot rods in it, and let's go racing. Let's take off with your buddies and go race and chase that dream. Never in a million years did I think it would turn into a Cup Series, and I actually have an opportunity to own 2 dirt late model teams. When you think of iRacing, you don't think of a video game. It's not. It's way above and beyond any of that. You know, dirt racing changes so much, the track changes so much. Being able to capture that, to, experience all those details that surround dirt racing and make dirt racing what it is what makes iRacing so cool, because they did nail all of that. I knew when they came to our shop and scanned cars and went to the detail of getting that car right, I knew that it was going to be over the top, because it blew my mind just the work that went into making sure the car itself was legit. This sport has been around a long time. The competition can't be replaced, and that's what brings people back to the racetrack week in and week out.
And we're back here on PTR TV for the post-race show, where we just saw that exciting finish here for the win. And we will start the post-race show with the third place finisher here in the booth.
Yeah, we've got our third place finisher, Rick Sabrands here, finishing in the third position. Rick, it was a tough battle all throughout this race. How do you feel after that?
Well, I tell you what, that was a lot of fun. The Jack Daniels Camaro was super fast, and it really loved that clean air, like everybody's car did, I'm sure. Just don't know what happened there early on in the race. We kind of had a bunch of cautions that kind of cluttered it up a little bit, but at least we got a nice little run there at the end. Just got to thank Yeti, Jack Daniels, and Dwayne for putting these on. It was a lot of fun tonight.
Oh man, you know, tell us a little bit about this race. You know, tell us how everything was going for you. Maybe you had some close calls that worried you a little bit. Just, you know, give us a little bit of a rundown. It
was one of those weird nights for sure. Anytime, I guess we're lucky to feel fortunate to get a third place finish tonight. It's some pretty good momentum going into next week, and that's what we needed to get into the championship 3 here in a couple weeks. But yeah, hopefully in the race it gets a little bit better, and we get some nice long green flag runs in, and I think that'll be the ticket.
Well, absolutely. You come home with a third place finish here tonight. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank and shout out to?
Yeah, just my teammates, Dwayne, for doing everything he does, and can't wait for next week.
Awesome job, Rick. That is your third place finisher, ladies and gentlemen, Rick Sabrands. And now, I believe Corey has caught up with second place, Justin Levine.
Yeah, Justin Levine, obviously you're in the Super 7. You nearly had your ticket to the Championship 3. You almost had that run there on the last lap. Talk about that final, those final couple laps and what the racing was like.
Oh man, it was so much fun. I can't believe that we finished like that. I really thought one of us were going to wreck, net code or something. We were racing really hard. It was a lot of fun.
See, a lot of yellow flags tonight, kind of an unusual sight for you guys. Do you have any close calls, or did you have to pull the backup car out at all tonight?
What happened? With Matt Too Quick, when I made a move to go high when Matt Too Quick came low to jump in front of David, and when we got to the back stretch, I get Paul hit Matt the wrong way. I got tagged, and then I just used a quick repair. I didn't even see if I had a chance to repair that car, especially with the playoffs. You know, I don't want to lose time in case I got a hole or, you know, it comes a big parachute. And then with Dwayne and Gary, I don't know how I missed that one. But besides that, it was fun being up front and good racing.
Yeah, so what's the strategy like? I mean, obviously being a super speedway league, so much out of your control here in these races. What's it like knowing you're in these playoffs and every point is so valuable, every position being so valuable?
Like you said, every point, it's unbelievable how many races that like 1 point made the difference between winning or losing a championship. And basically all I do is pedal to the metal, try to be up front, and just avoid whatever I can. You know, like you said, super speedway, you never know what's going to happen, so I'd rather be leading it and worry about the guy behind me than looking in front of me and like, all right, how do I have to avoid this wreck?
All right, man, so you come off with a second place finish tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to?
You guys, I love going back and watching the broadcast. You guys do such an amazing job. I want to thank all of Excalibur Racing and Dwayne for putting this on for us every Monday.
All right, so that is second place finisher. Congrats again, Justin. Hopefully we'll talk to you in the future.
Thank you. Have a good night.
And now Brandon will talk to tonight's winner, Dave Anderson in the 44.
Yeah, he's out of the race car now. Your winner here for the Talladega Super Speedway, David Anderson. And David, how do you feel?
I feel pretty good. That was a lot of fun, man. That last lap, that was good stuff.
Man, oh man, you come home with the win here tonight, and you know, we know that you're not in the playoffs, but what does this win mean to you?
Well, it means I should have raced in all the races this year. I think over the last 3 weeks, I've gotten a first, a second, and a first again tonight. So, you know, I've been running good, you know, most of the time that I've been in races and just haven't raced in enough of them, you know, to be in the chase. But yeah, it was a hell of a battle up there with Justin and Rick and you know, all the guys. The 96 car was up there and the 20, and man, it was just exciting that last lap. I knew that Bobby Tinch in the 66, I knew that he was running the wrong gear and he was overheating, so I knew he wouldn't have much to push Justin, you know, to the win. So I went ahead and took the outside and got a nice push from Rick and got me the win.
Yeah, I mean, run us what you were thinking those last couple laps there. Did you know what you had to do to keep that win?
I did, and it's pretty much what I just said. You know, it's just getting. Yeah, unfortunately, a couple weeks ago, Bobby Tinch pushed me to a win, and I guess he was running the right gear that night because he was a champion for me. But then, you know, tonight I'd gotten word that, you know, he was running the wrong gear and overheating. So, yeah, I knew I had to get away from him, you know, just to protect myself, and I had an opportunity, you know, and I jumped up to that second lane, and Rick gave me a nice push down the back stretch, and so at that point I kind of knew I had it. But yeah, it was exciting.
Well, awesome job here tonight. You come home with the victory. Is there anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to?
I would, yeah. Dwayne Cooper for running this league, and my teammates tonight, Matt Quick and Pondo Co. You know, we had fast cars up there all night. We started up front, and Co got in a little trouble early, and you know, just kind of some bad luck with those guys. But man, we got some fast cars, and I'd like to thank you guys for, you know, continuing to broadcast these, and you know, really appreciate it. Great quality, great commentary. You guys do a fantastic job, and I wish you guys nothing but the best.
Well, thank you so much for those kind words, and hopefully we'll see you in victory lane. Still got a couple more races left.
Yeah, I'm going to give it my best. Should be fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's your race winner, David Anderson.
Yeah, and unfortunately, due to the nature of the league and how the races are kind of run manually here to account for the potential green-white checker, we cannot give you the final results, so we will have to wrap up tonight's coverage with our sponsor shout-outs.
Absolutely, these broadcasts you know, wouldn't be possible without our channel partners. Starting out with Movement Fabrications. They're a family-run business formally established in 2012 with over 25 years of experience in the ventilation industry. They offer a wide range of services. This includes ducting, ventilation, extraction, and canopies. If you're in the Nottingham, UK area, Movement Fabrications is the ventilation service to trust. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, hero cards, paint schemes, and much more. From local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Based out of upstate New York, Krutz Custom Graphics is always P1. Also, iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, custom graphics, coding, and theme design for iRacing's two main overlay systems, ATVO and IRTVO. If you're a broadcast company looking to make your channel shine with custom overlays, talk to Jason Allison with iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Also, big shout out to iRacing Motorsport Simulations here. All the big thanks to their staff and everybody out there. Also, track cameras. You can get all these great track angles from Track Cams for Gourmet. Check them out at trackcams22.com or check them out at facebook.com/trackcams. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon to keep broadcast quality high and cost low for the league owners. We need a little help from the fans. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. If you become a patron, you'll get rewards that vary depending on how much you donate. Become a patron at patreon.com/PTRTV.
So that's another broadcast here on PTR TV. We brought you the Cyber Racing Association here at the Talladega Superspeedway in the Super 7. David Anderson with the exciting victory here tonight. A little bit of a light week with week 13 here on PTR TV, so we'll have some more action for you starting next week. So like and subscribe if you have not done so, if you like what we do here on PTR TV, and we will be back with more racing for you in the very near future. So signing out of the booth tonight is Corey Silva and Brandon Krutz. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a great night. Catch you next time.